Hi guys, Freddy back on the desktop with this week's Retro RPG, and this week I would like to present this, Paranoia 2nd Edition by Games Workshop and West End Games. West End Games first released Paranoia in 1984. This is the 1987 2nd Edition, released in the UK by Games Workshop, who did a lot of UK releases of role-playing games. They'd handled Dungeons & Dragons, they did Call of Cthulhu, RuneQuest, and many, many other games. They were basically the UK role-playing company. Let's skip on to the back. More fun than you can stand. Yep, this is the role-playing game of a darkly humorous future. Serve the computer. The computer is your friend. The computer wants you to be happy. If you are not happy, you may be used as reactor shielding. The computer is crazy. The computer is happy. The computer will help you to become happy. This will drive you crazy. Being a citizen of Alpha Complex is fun. The computer says so, and the computer is your friend. Rooting out traitors will make you happy. The computer tells you so. Can you doubt the computer? Being a troubleshooter is fun. The computer tells you so. Of course the computer is right. Troubleshooters get shot at, stabbed, incinerated, stapled, mangled, poisoned, blown to bits, and occasionally accidentally executed. This is so much fun that many troubleshooters go crazy. You'll be working with many troubleshooters. All of them carry lasers. Aren't you glad you have a laser too? Won't this be fun? There are many traitors in Alpha Complex. There are many happy citizens in Alpha Complex. Most of the happy citizens are crazy. It is hard to say which are more dangerous, traitors or happy citizens. Watch out for both of them. The life of a troubleshooter is full of surprises. Stay alert. Trust no one. Keep your laser handy. Imagine a world designed by Kafka, Stalin, Orwell, Huxley, Sartre, and the Marx Brothers. Paranoia is a role-playing game set in a darkly humorous future. In Paranoia, a well-meaning but deranged computer desperately protects the citizens of an underground warren from all sorts of real and imagined enemies. You play one of the computer's elite agents. Your job is to search out and destroy the enemies of the computer. Your worst fear is the computer will discover that you are one of these enemies. Paranoia, a light-hearted game of terror, death, bureaucracies, mad scientists, mutants, dangerous weapons, and insane robots, which encourages players to lie to, cheat, and backstab each other at every turn. Is that fun? Trust us. You're in error. No one is screaming. Thank you for your cooperation. Right, as you can have picked up from the blurb on the back, Paranoia is a game set in the distant future. There has been a nuclear war. Alpha Complex is one of the remaining humans' bunkers, a massive city made up of millions and millions of clones. I'll come back to the clones in a second. The complex is run by the computer. It was damaged in the war. It's also very, very old, and it doesn't really remember much. It remembers that the war was against commie traitors and that they should be destroyed. So it spends all its time examining the only world it knows, which is Alpha Complex, for commie traitors. Some of these threats are real, some imagined. The computer sometimes doesn't understand a lot, as different parts of it don't connect. The players play troubleshooters, whose job is to find trouble and shoot it. The players are mutants, because after hundreds of years of cloning in a radioactive wasteland, the clones are all mutated. For the civilization, clones have banded together into secret societies. Secret societies the computer treats as commie traitors. So everybody starts play being a mutant and a secret society member, and basically being one of the commie traitors that they're searching for. So everybody's out to protect themselves while discovering everybody else is a traitor. The computer can issue them with equipment. You can see there like a dustbuster there. A Hoover 216, an awesome weapon of the old reckoning. So the computer issues equipment when it sends you on missions. You're trying to survive the mission. The computer may just forget about, or it may be totally against another part of the computer which it doesn't remember. It might be against a real threat. The real threat may be your team members, who are also mutants and traitors. So I've heard stories of Paranoia adventures never getting past the briefing session, where people turn on each other and everything just goes to a firefight. Because the players are clones, you come with 5 copies. So as your character gets killed, the computer delivers the next clone to carry on the job. They get delivered through to where you were almost instantly, so you respawn. It's like getting another life. It's a video game, basically. Some of the secret societies here. The Illuminati. The Sierra Club. So that's the situation where the players are trying to survive. But they're trying to survive probably by ratting each other out to the computer. I'm trying to think of anything else which is important. Security clearances. Everybody is rated on a security clearance from black through to white with the colours in between. So there's infrared, which is the lowest one, which is black. Then you've got red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, and then ultraviolet, which is the high programmers, who are people who know how to program computers so can manipulate the system for themselves. They are the gods at the top of the system. Areas of Alpha Complex are rated by color clearance, so in adventures you can be trying to get from A to B. You are a red troubleshooter usually. If the corridor is orange, then you're not allowed to go down it because you don't have security clearance. Obviously, black paint is the most common one. Everybody's allowed access to it because you could just paint something white if you had access to white paint and gain security clearance. No, sorry, that's a lie. That's the other way round. Black paint is the hardest to get, because if you paint something black, then everybody has access to it. White is the easiest, because then you will be ranking it out of your control. Aha! The system is D20 based. It's very similar actually to what the D20 system later became, except damage is all treated through a chart, if I can find the damage table. So everything has a damage rating. Here we've got a laser rifle does 9 damage against laser armor. So if we look at the armor here, battle armor has all 7. So against everything it's got 7. Reflect armor has laser 4. So your laser rifle doing 9 against reflect armor ends up doing 5. 9 minus 4. And then you roll a d20 on 5 when you hit a target, and it can go from no effect up to kill damage on that chart. Things go up to 20 where you can kill or vaporize. Is there a nuclear weapon? Tactical nuke. Damage number 30. So even if you've got the best battle armor, you're still getting 20 damage and still mainly vaporized. And that's Paranoia. It's by the same people who made Ghostbusters, so it's a funny game. I highly rated it. I've only played it once. It's probably a very hard game to keep going, because keeping the wackiness going all the time would just become a bit of a grind. But it's a great game to pull out and do a one-shot of. The adventures can be very, very funny. Even though, as I said, I only played it once, I bought virtually all the source books and adventures for the second edition. My favourite was Clones in Space, where not only do you play your character, you play one of the replacement clones of the other characters. So as the group runs around, you can be causing problems as the clones of the other people. It's an absolute chaos. Trying to think what else I have to... Oh, you get issued equipment on missions. It's traitorous to not use it. But the computer probably has issued you with experimental or malfunctioning equipment because it just doesn't know. So you're going on your missions, trying to rat everybody else out, trying to survive, trying to complete the mission, and trying to experiment with the stuff you've been handed out, which might kill you. But anyway, Paranoia, West End Games, 1984. A lot of fun. I know Mongoose still do a version. To me, this is the classic version. I don't know much about the later ones. They went from 1st edition, 2nd edition, 5th edition, trying to be all wacky about it and skip a few versions, if only they'd known about Windows 10 and all that coming up in the future. Apparently the real world has caught up with the comedy of Paranoia. Then they did a Paranoia XP, but got asked to remove it by Microsoft because they didn't like having Windows XP and Paranoia with the same XP logo on. And then it went over to Mongoose, and I just have no idea what's happened with it since then. Anyway, great game, a lot of fun, recommended by me. For a laugh, if nothing else. Thank you very, very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you like at all what I'm doing. You look after yourselves, and I will catch you next time. Bye.